Comrade N. Sankaraya, a veteran communist leader and freedom fighter, passed away this morning at Chennai. He was 102. I had the opportunity to meet Sankaraya in 2019 when a very senior journalist, P. Sainath, interviewed him for his book on freedom fighters. We spent several hours with Sankaraya, but the most important point was when he was living in a very modest house in Krompet between Pallavaram and Thambaram. The house was situated in one of a small lanes in Krompet. When we were actually inquiring for the directions of the house, nobody, not even the auto driver, seems to be aware that there was this very senior leader, a freedom fighter who was living in midst of them. Things might have changed in 2021 after the DMK government came to power and they awarded him with Tagaisal Tamilar Virudu. So the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin came in person to this modest house to confer the award on N. Sankaraya. So maybe after that the neighbor would have known that one of their neighbors was a very important person in Tamil Nadu's political history and Tamil Nadu's freedom struggle. P. Sainath's interview with Sankaraya was essentially about his role as freedom fighter, and it was completely inspiring to listen to him. At 99, he was able to recollect what he did, what he witnessed as a student, what he went through as a college student. He was arrested when he was a college student, but more importantly, he said he was inspired to participate in the freedom struggle after how Tamil Nadu, he used the word boil. Tamil Nadu was on the boil after Bhagat Singh was executed. As a student, as a school student, Sankaraya witnessed this protest against Bhagat Singh's execution in Thoothukudi, where he was growing up. He studied in Madurai American College. He was doing history along with economics. Sankaraya began to take active part in freedom movement. But before that, I think his family was a very political family. His maternal grandfather was a follower of Periyar. Sankaraya mentioned in our interview that Periyar and his wife Nagammai had visited their grandfather's house. So even when he was very young, Sankaraya had accessed magazines like Kudiyarasu, which was founded by Periyar and edited by Periyar. During his college days, his family moved to Madurai and Sankaraya joined American College to pursue a course in economics and history. Sankaraya said he was also part of the football team and had played for the college in various football tournaments. But the college gave a very conducive atmosphere for anti-British protests, for freedom protests. So many students in American College were part of such protests, and obviously Sankaraya too was part of the protest. In 1941, Annamalai University held protests against the British Empire, and a student called Meenakshi was arrested. So Sankaraya received a message from his comrades, received a secret message from his comrades to organize a protest in American College in support of the Annamalai students. When Sankaraya organized this protest, the police raided the American College premises and found pamphlets condemning the arrest of Annamalai students. Sankaraya's friend Narayanasamy was arrested for having these pamphlets. Following this, Sankaraya again protested condemning the arrest of his friend and was taken into custody by the Madurai police. This happened 15 days before his final BA examinations, and Sankaraya was released much later. He couldn't obviously write his examinations. One reason why the Tamil Nadu government wanted to confer the honorary doctorate on him was that because he took part in struggle for Indian freedom, he was not able to finish his education. And by conferring a honorary degree on him, the government perhaps sought to kind of correct the wrong. But unfortunately, as we all know, the governor decided not to sign the order. Coming back to the story of Sankaraya, this was his first arrest. And he was transferred to Vellore jail and then to Central jail, where he had also had to spend some time in solitary confinement. Sankaraya's other comrades were released in April 1942. Sankaraya was released in somewhere between June-July 1942, and he clearly remembers that the person who came, the policeman came and inquired who was Sankaraya. And when Sankaraya identified himself, he said everybody else is released, he has to remain back in jail. This was only his first arrest as a student for taking part in freedom struggle. In 1946, Sankaraya will be arrested again in Madurai conspiracy case, which much later the Indian government recognized as freedom struggle. Sankaraya was released a day before India got its independence on August 14, 1947. So while Sankaraya's other comrades were released in April 1942, Sankaraya was released in somewhere between June-July 1942, and he clearly remembers the policeman came and inquired who was Sankaraya. And when Sankaraya identified himself, he said everybody else is released, he has to remain back in jail. After his release, Shankaraya was very active with CPM and the rest is history. Everybody knows of his contribution to the party, to the people's struggles, etc. When we met him in 2019 as 99-year-old, Shankaraya exuded a very rare kind of energy. He was reminiscing his past and he was very hopeful of the future. When we asked him about the advent of the BJP, about actors like Rajinikanth and Kamala Hassan, at that time Rajinikanth was toying with the idea of starting a political party. Advent of actors into politics. Shankaraya only said that he was a very disciplined cadre of Communist Party and he was very hopeful that in electoral politics, the ideology of Communist Party will never fail. He continued to give hope to us. He said he was a very disciplined cadre of a communist movement and he would never lose hope in the ideology of communism. And that, I think, defines who Shankaraya is.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.